Picture this. You walk into a room, maybe you say the wrong thing, or you're just carrying a visible flaw right there on your sleeve, and bam, suddenly you are the punchline. We've all been there, right? You can literally feel the heat rising in your cheeks. Your stomach completely drops. It is that universal, deeply visceral pain of public embarrassment. And for a split second, you feel entirely powerless. But what if you aren't? Today, we're diving into a total paradigm shift. We're going to explore exactly how you can take that agonizing moment of public shame and just completely flip the script. Seriously, think back. Have you ever been the butt of someone else's joke? I want you to really put yourself back in that suffocating moment when the room just kind of tilts, the air gets thick, and suddenly you're a spectacle for cheap laughter. It's awful. And naturally, most people crumble right then and there. They scramble to explain themselves, maybe force this really awkward fake laugh, or just try to sink into the floorboards. But in this explainer, we're actually going to learn how to take that exact moment and turn it into your absolute origin story.
Before we begin, if you're interested in psychology, human behavior, and powerful life lessons, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's begin.
All right, let's dive right into this. You see, humiliation isn't just a passing feeling of being embarrassed. No, it's a public execution of your identity. It's an actual social battlefield. And here is the absolute most important psychological secret you are going to learn today. The person hurling that insult at you, they aren't powerful at all. They're desperate. Think about it. To feel tall, they desperately need to make you look small in front of everyone else. Their attack isn't about you. It's practically a neon sign exposing their own deep-seated insecurities. So let's break down the actual anatomy of one of these social attacks. It's what we call the triple strike. First off, the attacker tries to control the narrative. They want to paint a negative version of you before you even get a chance to open your mouth. Second, they steal the spotlight, yanking the crowd's attention right over to themselves. And third, they test your reaction. This is the absolutely critical moment. Because if you panic, if you try to defend yourself, or if you snap and get angry, boom, the trap snaps shut. By reacting emotionally, you're instantly confirming their fake, weak version of you to the audience. You're literally playing the exact role they wrote for you. Now, I want you to notice the really stark contrast in human behavior here. Look at the average reaction. It's all panic, defend, explain. That is emotional scrambling. When you're desperately trying to fix your image, you're just chasing the story. You aren't leading it. But now, look at the Machiavellian mind. This is a mindset of cold, surgical stillness. Why? Because the Machiavellian thinker knows a really profound truth about human nature. The crowd doesn't actually care about the facts. They don't. The crowd judges energy. Ultimately, they're only going to remember who looked like they were completely in control. And this approach builds so perfectly on ancient wisdom. Take the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, for example. He famously said, "If anyone can refute me, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, defend your ego at all costs in front of your friends. True power is focused on truth and presence. It never scrambles to protect a fragile ego just to keep a crowd happy. When you are truly anchored in the truth, an insult just bounces right off you. Okay, so the natural question then becomes, how do you actually pull this off? How do you steal back the narrative when all eyes are glued to you, just waiting for you to crack? Well, it's time to open up the tactical playbook. This is the fun part. We're going to learn exactly how to break the attacker's script and create this incredible moment of psychological theater that absolutely no one in that room saw coming. Here we go. This is the exact 3-step blueprint for the reversal. Step 1, neutralize with stillness. When they're fully expecting you to flush bright red and start stuttering, you do the exact opposite. You go perfectly, unreadably still. It completely short-circuits their rehearsed script. Then, step 2, execute psychological judo, which is so incredibly effective. We're going to detail it in just a second. And finally, step 3, calmly own the flaw. If there's actually some truth to what they said, you just calmly shrug and say, yeah, that happened. And yet, here we are. That long, calculated pause, followed by total acceptance, it literally forces the audience to stop looking at you and start questioning the attacker's motives instead. And that brings us right into step 2, frame inversion. This is essentially psychological judo. And let me tell you, it is a total game changer. Instead of arguing the facts of whatever insult they threw at you, you expose the reason why they needed to insult you in the first place. You grab that spotlight and swing it right back onto their insecurity. Just imagine this. Someone mocks you loudly in a group. Instead of getting defensive, you just tilt your head, take a breath, and calmly say, "It's really revealing how badly you needed to say that. Wow." Instantly, the whole energy of the room shifts. Suddenly, the attacker is the one feeling exposed and completely clumsy. Think about the mechanics here. When you try fighting the facts, when you argue, no, I'm not like that, it ironically just makes you look weak. But when you expose the performance, you are revealing their rehearsed desperation for everyone to see. By not resisting their force, by just letting their nasty insult hang super awkwardly in the air, you actually redirect their own momentum against them. You take what was supposed to be their big, triumphant moment of superiority and transform it into this incredibly uncomfortable display of their own neediness for the crowd's approval. This lines up so perfectly with the legendary strategist Sun Tzu, right? He taught us to appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. In the world of social warfare, giving them total silence and physical stillness projects this intense aura of mystery. And frankly, human beings are instinctively terrified of what they don't understand. Your calm, unreadable presence is going to terrify an attacker way more than a loud, raging, defensive argument ever could. But let's shift gears for just a second. What if the attack isn't some loud, obnoxious joke at a party? What if it isn't spoken at all? I'm talking about silent exclusion. This is a much colder, much sneakier form of social warfare. It's when someone deliberately ignores you, maybe speaks over you, or just tries their absolute hardest to make you feel completely invisible in a group setting. So, how on earth do you beat an invisible attack? Well, first rule, never ever chase inclusion. The second you start begging for their attention, you hand over all your power. Don't do it. Instead, you have to withdraw strategically. Take your energy and your focus and move it somewhere else entirely. Start a completely new conversation with someone else. Build your own gravity on the other side of the room. By totally removing your attention from the person attacking you, you bankrupt their influence. Suddenly, they're left performing on a stage for an audience that simply does not care anymore. Okay, now let's say you've done it. You've successfully executed the reversal. The room is quiet, the attacker is standing there looking foolish. What's your next move? Well, the amateur move is craving the applause. It's lingering around, trying to soak in the victory, just waiting for people to pat you on the back and tell you how clever you are. But the master move? Leaving with dignity, exiting quietly and cleanly. True psychological invincibility is cemented the moment you can walk away without needing the crowd's validation at all. Your composure was the victory, you don't need a trophy. And as we navigate all this, we really have to keep in mind this profound insight from Machiavelli's Renaissance courts. Power always attracts envy. It's just human nature. And unfortunately, envy rarely shows its true face. It loves to disguise itself as a sarcastic joke, or quote-unquote constructive criticism, or just an innocent observation. As you practice this and become unbreakable, the attacks aren't going to stop. They're just going to get subtler. You have to be ready to just observe, take a pause, and let them overplay their hand. To bring it all together, the core philosophy we've been unpacking in this explainer is what we call the untouchable mindset. It's this realization that you only control the narrative when you completely control yourself. Humiliation literally dies the very second the crowd realizes that absolutely no insult on earth can shake your certainty. Nobody gets to define your identity except for you. You take the exact stage they built for your destruction and you flip it into a platform for your absolute dominance. If this video helped you understand people a little better, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more psychology insights. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create more videos like this. See you in the next one. So, who will you choose to be the next time the spotlight turns on you? Remember, understanding people is powerful, but understanding yourself is life-changing.